Brothers and sisters, welcome to our today's NJO LEO program of the 31st of January 2019. My name is Odon Bulamba. I will be here today to talk to you, to share with you about what has been taking place in the DRC for the past 24 hours. So to start with, let me tell you that on Saturday, we are going to have our program, which is known as Reflection, where everybody is called to talk, to speak about, to give his opinion about what has been taking place in the Congo. And this Saturday, we are going to talk about the period of election and what followed after that election is a post-electoral, meaning that, you know, where are we up to now with the situation in the country? So this is what we are going to talk about, and I will invite you to be with us for the rest of the time in order to share with me our news from DRC. So let us start. And by starting, I'll give you just the headlines first. The Provincial Assembly of Equateur, where the president of this provisional office, Mr. Indundo, calls the elected representatives to privilege the interests of the people. Straight away, I will go to see where Tshisekedi asks Seni to keep and secure the recyclable election material. And finally, our third news will be about Felix Tshisekedi, who has promised to achieve a free basic education in the DRC. So these will be the three lines that we are going to develop during our program. So I will ask you to be with us for the rest of the time. Once again, as you know, my name is Odon Bulamba, and I will present to you this program. And at the end of it, of course, we'll have this type of short analysis where I will talk about this analysis to tell you exactly a few points. And my point today will be what is the interest of the population based on Felix Tshisekedi's speech that he gave to the people of the Congo on the 24th of January 2019. So let us now go straight away to our main lines. Like other provinces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, this Wednesday, the 30th of January, the opening and installation of a Provincial Assembly of Equateur in the northeast or northeastern part of the country took place. So the president of the provisional office of this deliberative body, José Indundo, called the elected representatives of Equateur to privilege the interest of the people during the legislature. As interim president, he said, I am committed to setting the scene to guide the development of the province. The task entrusted to us is very heavy, and to achieve this, we must invest ourselves in our soul and conscience so that our entire mandate is beneficial to the people who have mandated us. We must look in the same direction for the interest of our people instead of betting on our own interests. The same Wednesday, 30th of January, at the City of African Union here in Ngaliema, Kinshasa, during a working session between the President of the Republic, Felix Tshisekedi, and members of the plenary of the Seni, including Konenanga, Felix Tshisekedi asked the Independent National Electoral Commission, which is CENI, to keep insecure warehouses the recyclable material used in the last election. Arrival end of mandate in June 2019, the CENI will present to the National Assembly its general report on the 3 polls of December 23rd, 2018. Here it's about the report for the presidential election, provincial legislative, and also national legislative elections. Felix Tshisekedi promised to achieve a free basic education. He said it in his inaugural address that took place on Thursday, January the 24th, 2019, at the Palais de la Nation. Tshisekedi paid special attention to technical and vocational training. This may be good news for parents, students, and students in the DRC, because for the President of the Republic, the Congolese education system must be in phase with major economic and human challenges. Therefore, the ambition is to offer a better technical and professional training to youth to make the country a strong pole of attractiveness and technological implementation. He considers it unfair to require families to pay a parental bonus to teachers or having them pay teachers' salaries. He said, "We must quickly find an alternative to this unfair situation." In accordance with the Constitution, Felix said that free basic education must be a reality. To this end, he will take care to improve the conditions of primary, high school, and university lecturers and teachers. The government which will be appointed soon, he added, and which will be invested by the parliament, will put aside its political action on several priorities. Thus, the rehabilitation and consolidation of the rule of law will be established through strong, local, and equitable institutions serving employment, youth, education, health, and all our economic and social issues. He also admits that the prolonged absence of the local authority legitimized by elections constitutes a real obstacle to the implementation of public policies, particularly in matters of civil status, education, health, sanitation, and environment. So these are the points that I am supposed to talk to you about today. And now, as I promised you, I will do just a simple basic analysis so that you can understand how should our government, you and I, also privilege the interest of the population. And I will try to make a connection between the speech of Tshisekedi and this I should say, and this promotion, if you want, and this promotion of privileging the people of the Congo. So straight away, let us go to our analysis. And let me start by saying this. In life, normally, whenever someone says a speech, there is, and there will always be, a step to be made between a speech and the act. But sometimes it will require us to make several steps, or to take several steps before the act or our speech can be transformed or can be fulfilled in act. During our lives, we will always listen to people saying speech, reciting speeches, or again, planning beautiful, more attractive speeches. But what you have to remember that what comes out from the mouth are just words. And those words will get the power once they are concretized. Once they are put in practice and people can see the result. And we listen to what Tshisekedi said. For those who did not listen, you can watch his video. The days are the inaugural day of his on the 24th of January this year. As now Mr. Tshisekedi is the president of the country, to be honest with you, he needs at all costs to have a hard-working, a conscious government. A government which will have really the true love of the country, the true love of the Congolese people, the government which will decide to work tirelessly for the country and for the nation in order to privilege the interests of these people. Tshisekedi himself, he cannot do much, or he cannot do anything. He needs a strong government. This is the first point. Secondly, he will need budget. Because you can't just rule a country, you can't govern a country without a budget. And thirdly, he will need now we, the people of the Congo. And we, the people of the Congo, if we support him, we support our country, we support our well-being, we can all together promote our countries, our nation, and our everything. And in order to do so, we need also to work hard, to have a good conscience, and to have a big love for our own country. In the speeches that he gave, unlikely somehow, Tshisekedi didn't talk about, he did not tell us about the quantitatively, he did not tell us quantitatively about how he's going to realize or is going to fulfill this promise of taking care of teachers, of making maybe the studies to be free of charge in the Congo. And when I'm talking about to quantify things, it means that it should tell us in terms of, how long is it gonna take? Is it going to take in order to fulfill this? Where will the funding come from? What will the salary per professional category be? And he has to compare that salary also to the Congolese budgetary capacities. The present budgetary capacities we have, and also the future one. Based on those things, then people of the Congo can understand, can clearly have an idea what Mr. Tshisekedi has just said in a speech is not going to take place just right now. Maybe we should wait for 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 12 years, or 5 years. And this is the way that things work. However, Congo has been going through calamities, a lot of ups and downs for the past 50 years plus. And I wonder if Tshisekedi will be able to change all of that in a 5-year term. Should we expect to see 100% change in 5-year term? Yeah, miraculously can be done. It's possible to see the change. It is possible, and that change will only happen if you and we change our mentality. We change our way of seeing things. We decide to support our nation, to support our country, to love our country, and to work hard for the well-being of our children, our country, and ours. The departure, or as Kabila decided to leave the power, for me, I shouldn't say that is a solution to see the country moving forward. but it requires to see a change in the system. The systems that Kabila used to use should change. The systems that maybe Mobutu used to use should be changed. The system which has been in place should be completely changed. Otherwise, it will end up by having a Kabila replacing another Kabila. And as I said, remember, we Congolese people, we have also to change our mentality. And I can tell you that Kabila can be aside, but those who worked for Kabila, those who was his ministers, those who had been his maybe advisors, all of them are trying, are working fiercely, hardly to grab a seat again in this new regime. They want to be a part of it. They want to act in this ministry. I mean, in this government, sorry. For instance, I will take the case of this gentleman, Justin Bitakwira, who said, Justin Bitakwira is one of the ministers of Kabila, and he said, we must capitalize on all the intelligence and political energies that remain to us. But if it is selfishness, then we will lost in advance. He continued, he said, politics should never be compared to mathematics or arithmetic, sorry. And he ended by concluding that 1 + 1 is not usually equal to 2 according to politics. And I can frankly tell you that the DRC is a nation which is full of surprises. What this gentleman has said is just correct. It's true. We should use, our intelligence. We should put our heads together and see how we can construct not only our country, but our conscience, our love for the country, construct the future of this country, construct our everything that we call the DRC. And to do that, we should only not put our political energies together, but we should also add all energies, mental capacities, maybe our prayers, everything that we can, that we believe it will take us to success, we should put it in action. But unlikely many people play just for selfishness in the Congo. And because of that, we are losers before even we start the work. And politics, as we know, can never be compared to mathematics. 1 + 1 is not equal to. And of course, some people also will tell you 1 + 1 equals 11, it equals 1, 0, or nothing. Everybody has a different answer. The gentleman who said this message, Bitakwira himself, poor Bitakwira, I will call him poor because he used to work for Kabila for a number of years. And he has never tried to use his intelligence to construct the Congo, but he used his intelligence to destroy our nation. One time he was an opponent. He was in opposition. Opposition against this regime of Joseph Kabila. Shortly after that, he changed his camp and he became an associate, an ally of Kabila. And usually whenever he speaks, he said, my mother told me. And I wonder if his mother told him to change the camp, to switch from opposition to become an ally, where he worked only for his own gain. And Bitakwira is not the only one. We have got Lambertment, we have got Tambwe Mwamba. There are many political actors who have been there working for this country for years, pretending to work for the country for years, but they work for their own pocket. They work for their own benefit. And the country continues to die day after day. If I recall, I would say Bitakwira was the one who said that although the opposition can be united or divided, they will never beat FCC. And now we see FCC was defeated somehow, and Tshisekedi is the president of the country. Unless Bitakwira was telling us that whoever becomes the president will act for FCC. Anyway, he's free to say it if that is the case. But we don't think so, because Tshisekedi was on the side of, he was a leader of UDPS, and if he made any deal with FCC, if he signed any contract with FCC, the contract can be violated, the contract can sometimes be dropped, and many, many things, as you know. However, that's not my chapter, but let me say that you can see where our politicians don't have that political balance. They don't weigh things. Whenever the wind will take them to left, they will go to the left because there is their interest there. Whenever the government will change, they will run on the other side because they know that we'll get money, we will loot the country, and we can become Y, X, or Z. For this reason, not only Bitakwira does that, but many of them, as we are talking now, have been running up and down because they want to secure a new position in this new government. Many of them. Although someone like Bitakwira was rejected by his own base, which is in Uvira, he couldn't become, he was not voted. They didn't vote for him in Uvira. I wonder, I repeat it again, I wonder, even if his wife voted for him, or his mother. Because people doubt of this guy. People doubt of his way of doing. And he's not the only one. The Lambert men, and others. They are intelligent, but they use their brain, their intelligence in the negative way, for the wrong purposes. To steal, to loot the country, to dodge, to lie, and many other things. And these are people whom I believe, personally I believe that they shouldn't even appear on the political scene of the Congo anymore. Most of them are from PPRD, the political part of the Kabila, or again FCC, this political platform that Kabila is the moral boss. Most of them, I will say that they are just political prostitutes. Because they are today here, tomorrow they'll be there, running after their own interests. And if the government of Tshisekedi doesn't, be careful, if the government will not be careful, he may end up recruiting the same people, recruiting the same, mentality, recruiting the same personality, and put them in his new government. While he knows very well that some of these people, some of these guys do not even deserve to be just a simple, street representatives. Or a small, maybe, they don't even deserve to occupy the lowest position in politics of our country. Why that? Because most of them plundered, they murdered, they were traitors, they were liars. They lost their dignity and honor so that they could just get money. Most of them. And I should also insist on this. The day of passing power, Joseph Kabila passed power to Felix Tshisekedi. And he said, okay, this is your country, your great country. This is a power that I hand over to you. You are now the new leader of the country. And that was a scene all over the world. People watched it, live on TVs. I did not see that day Joseph Kabila in front of the cameras, handing over to Felix Tshisekedi a list of names of those that you should call, my people, my collaborators, or again, clever people who should help the Congo. And many people can say, yes, they're intelligent, they are really, really clever. Yes, they might be clever or not, that's true. But sometimes you cannot be clever without a brain which functions. How can they be clever after proving to the people of the Congo that they have that lack of patriotic love, after proving to the people of the Congo that they don't have what you are calling consciousness. I wish if shame could kill, if shame even was something like a virus of HIV, I'm sure that these people by this time would not exist, or they would maybe be somewhere in hospitals. But what I can tell Felix Tshisekedi is that the people of the Congo are watching you. They are waiting to see who is going to be in your government, because they need to see new faces which will come with new mentality. Otherwise, Cash, that platform of Vital Kamerhe and Felix Tshisekedi, risk to put itself in a bad corner. As you may know, so far, people are divided. You know, people have got different ideas. There is a group of people which support Felix Tshisekedi. There is a group of people which continues to support Lamuka. There is another group of people which support so far FCC or Kabila's group. And to consolidate his trust in the people, Felix Tshisekedi will have to concretize his speeches. He has to work hard on that. And to concretize it, it means that people have to work hard so that the actions can be seen. Because the actions that we're expecting from Felix Tshisekedi must speak louder than words. And people of the Congo are waiting for him, not only to be the president of this big country, rich country, but they are waiting for him so that he can respond, he can answer, he can respond to the will of the people. And Tshisekedi, Felix knows, I'm sure he knows very well, what is the will of the people of the Congo. He has been a leader of the opposition for a number of years. He has been around the UDPS for a number of years. And people used to go to the opposition and say all the wrong things, telling the leaders of the opposition what is their will. And here it's not only a matter of knowing the will of the people. It's not a matter of only listening or hearing them, but it's a matter of answering, of responding to those will, or again to that will. And if Felix can say that, yes, I know the will of the people, yes, I understand the will of the people, it's now time to respond to that will. Mobutu knew it and he listened. He heard them. Kasavubu heard them and, you know, he listened and he could just say, no, I know them. The same as all of them. Mobutu and Kabila and so on. Did they really respond? Yeah, Kabila, Laurent Désiré Kabila tried. Somehow their Savubu also tried. Lumumba tried. They did their best to the length of time where they were in power. What about Joseph Kabila now? What about Mobutu? What about? So that's a past. Now we are living the present time where people need to be responded. They need to be heard, and also, after being heard, to see the response. Many people will say, yes, we are going to wait. We are going to see who will be the Prime Minister of the Congo. And of course, from the parliament, that's where will come the Prime Minister. And if we look at the majority of those who are in parliament, actually, the majority is composed by the people of FCC or the political platform of Kabila. And these people, most of them, I should say, were not elected. Seni just fabricated, you know, their victory. And I clearly remember last year I was talking without stopping about how we Congolese people, about the politicians, the opposition, shouldn't only focus on at the presidential election, but they should also focus, give some, you know, concentration, if you want, on the legislative election. But unlikely we didn't do so. So Seni took the opportunity to trick, to dodge the result, and today we have got many of those members of the parliament are from those political parties which have made this platform FCC. But I can tell you that this is just a reminder. I can only remind you that based on the text in force, there is still no parliamentary majority at the moment, because FCC was just made for a purpose, to be a platform for the election. It was not made as a political grouping. Maybe they can make it today as a political party or political grouping, but the idea behind the FCC, it was just made to be a platform for the election. And if you can understand that, I will tell you that those members of parliament, they have the chance, they can still change their mind and join the other part, the opposition maybe. Especially if the one who is in power now, if you will do the great job, these people can easily shift from one side to join the other side. And if they are not flexible in their way of working, in their way of responding to privilege, the need of the people of the Congo, then Felix Tshisekedi, being a president, he has the power to dissolve the parliament. I think those who have got ears have heard what I've said. And according to our law, before to choose a prime minister, before to select a prime minister if you want, an informant must be presented to the president. So for an informant, you have to know that he is the one who has the job to create a new majority in which will emerge a prime minister. And Felix Tshisekedi may ask for 5 names, 10 names, and then from those names he may draw one. And who will privilege the will of the people of the Congo. And that will be a victory. That won't be a sin. However, in all and for all, Felix has belong to such political party. I'm on your side. We have been doing this. I'm your cousin. I'm a Muluba like you. I'm a Mukongo like you. I'm a Muswahili like you. I'm a Mungala like you. No. You should choose people who are there for the best interest of our country. Let me move. As usual, in many countries around the world, a new president always or very often is given 100 days in office to convince the nation. And 100 days are just 3 months and 10 days, if you want. Can someone really convince the people of the Congo within this short time? Yes. Someone can do that. The president can do that. It just requires to see changes. And those changes will only surface, will only appear by a hard and long work. If people work harder, if that new government works seriously, then we may see changes. But those changes may not only appear in 3 weeks or 2 months or 3 months, but it will be also a long work, which may take days, possibly months. But the lightning of that work, the flash of that work, can start to be seen in 3 weeks' time. Some other presidents, they can even show it in 2 weeks' time. But this is an ongoing way of working, it's continuous. People have to work and work and work, and then the result will be seen along the way. Many have thought, many have been saying, yes, now our salaries will be good. Although Tshisekedi said that, you know, schools, basic schools will be for free. That will give the parent a break. Parent will be, you know, a little bit relaxed. They'll relax a little bit. They'll be a little bit like, ooh, we can rest for a second. But teachers who work, they will continue to claim for their salaries. They are entitled to their salaries. Where will that money come from? Even the parents who, you know, fight, struggle to pay for the school fees for their children, they have a hard task of doing so because there is no salary. Some of them, many of them possibly work for the government. And some people have been working for the government for 14 years without a salary. 14 years, people of the post. And I posted one of the videos of ours on our YouTube program where people were talking about the salaries. This woman, this mom said 14 years she has been working for the Congolese post without salary. 14 years. And she has to face the realities of life. She has to pay for the school fees for her children and many other things. So all of that now bring the government in front of a situation where they have to say, yes, we can even give people, you know, you can multiply their salaries by 5, by 10, by 20, but beforehand, before anything, we must create and consolidate wealth before we redistribute it. We need to create wealth first. Once we have created it, we can consolidate it and then get some money to give to people as salaries. It's true that the DRC is rich and many countries around the world envy our country. But although we are full of wealth, natural resources are there, we need first of all to exploit them. To find where they are. We have gold, but where's the gold? We have to dig it, which, you know, requires a lot of work. Then after that, to transform it. Then after that, to sell it. Before getting the money, the customers, the buyers must accept to buy it. After they buy it, then we have money and you can now get something to pay our teachers and workers. So you can see that it's not a matter of 1 minute. What Tshisekedi said, it's not something that will just be fulfilled in a couple of seconds. It may take some times. And in order to exploit that gold, to dig the gold or coltan or whatever you want, we need the means. Meaning that we need money, we need tools, and of course, because we need money, we need also time to mobilize our resources. And on top of that, we'll need staff. And if we don't have money, we don't actually have money, we don't have the tools to use in order to, you know, to get our resources or to exploit them, what would happen? We have maybe to go back to those cooperants, to those, you know, organizations which used to work during the regime of Kabila and renegotiate with them, review their contract maybe, so that they can continue to work in our country, and instead of taking everything and leaving the country without nothing, we may review those contracts and do something productive which will benefit the country. They may also train some of the Congolese people who have got knowledge or who have again went to school. They can just in one word train Congolese people in order also to learn how to do those type of jobs. And that will give us in the first hand some money to move on. And as we know, those who were getting, you know, resources from our country We used to say now they are looting our country. We used to say these people are coming to loot our country. But we still cooperate. We still need to cooperate with the local people. We still need to cooperate with people who are around our region or regional people, or again at the level of international level, you know, far away from our region. We'll need our neighbors, we'll need Africa, we'll need Europe, we'll need Asia, we'll need America, we'll need Oceania or any other continent. We need those people to be there, to work hand in hand with them in order to bring the Congo from this knockout situation. Therefore, if they were looting the country, it's not a time to loot the country anymore. Mechanisms should be in place in order to prevent those looting. But talking, reviewing contract and doing things clearly, openly, that will be fair for our country and for those who come to use our minerals. So maybe I should also say that we have also prisons. And our prisons in the Congo are full, are packed with more than 10% to 20%, maybe possibly 30% of the prisoners actually have been sitting there for months, years, without seeing the judge. And many of them also are just innocent. They are locked there. Maybe those people can come out and be replaced by those who supported the looters of our country to loot, by those who contributed to loot our country, to loot the wealth of DRC. Although those people claim themselves to be the majority in parliament, and they are there. They are there. Today they claim to be the majority. Maybe some of them should face justice or should repent, bring back the money, bring back what they took from the country. And that money can also help the country to take off because it's quite a lot. And to gain their esteem, now they are members of parliament, to gain their esteem, these majorities maybe should also think of changing their way of thinking, changing their mentality, changing their way of doing things, and produce different results for the success of the country. They can face justice, repent, and justice will decide what to do. But for those who will be free, they have really to change their way of doing things, because they are not only killing the Congolese people, but they are killing also their reputation, they are killing their lives, our lives, the life of everyone else. And we know most of them did not fear to sacrifice their lives for money, or they did not even think twice to give in sacrifice their reputation, their dignity, so that they can loot the country. But we all have a common interest, and our common interest is what? Is to privilege the will of the Congolese people, is to fight for the well-being of our nation, the well-being of our people. So the interest of the Congolese people is a priority number one. We should privilege it. The will of those people is a priority number one for the country. Because today you are the president, Mr. Tshisekedi, you are the president of the Congolese people, not the president of those political actors, not a president anymore of your political party or, you know, opposition and so on. You are now the president for the whole country. So you are called to act, to do things for the whole country. Our Congo will remain one, our Congo will remain united with love and unity. We will go, we'll move forward, and we'll be winners. May God bless you, may God bless the Congo, and I wish and I hope to see you again in coming minutes within maybe a few hours, we'll continue our next news. I wish to you a very good day, very good evening, very good night, depending where you are. God bless you and see you next time. Goodbye for now.